Today on Running to Him, people of God display compassion even in victory. Well, if you're joining us in going through the books of Ezra, Nehemiah, and Esther, today's reading is Esther 8, verse 8 through 17, and we'll concentrate on verses 10 through 11 and 16 and 17. Well, verse 10 says this: He wrote the name of King Ahasuerus and sealed it with the king's signet ring, and sent letters by couriers on horses, riding on steeds sired by the royal stud. And in them the king granted the Jews who were in each and every city the right to assemble and to defend their lives, to destroy and to kill and to annihilate the enemy of the people, or whichever people or province which might attack them, including women and children, and to plunder their spoil. For the Jews there was light and gladness and joy and honor. In each of every province of each and every city, wherever the king's commandment and his decrees arrived, there was gladness and joy for the Jews. A feast and a holiday occurred, and many among the peoples of the land became Jews, for the dread of the Jews had fallen on them. Well, the Judeo-Christian mindset is compassionate to its enemies. Even when allowed to have a complete and destructive victories over an enemy, those who have a relationship with God tend to have compassion. Well, this compassion is even borne out in our actions during war. 3 examples come quickly to mind. Now, the Japanese conflict during the Second World War was one of the bloodiest conflicts because the Japanese code said that they never could surrender. The Allies knew that an invasion of the main Japanese island would mean that the deaths of possibly 1 million Allied soldiers and an untold number of Japanese soldiers and civilians. Now, even though many thousands perished as a result of ending the war quickly by dropping the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it actually saved millions of lives in the long run. Secondly, when both Germany and Japan surrendered, the Allies could have decimated the people. Instead, they helped rebuild both Germany and the Japanese economies. And in some relationship, they became some of the strongest modern economies in the world. In contrast, the Russians' occupied area were fragile economically, and people feared for their lives. During the war in Afghanistan, some of the Special Forces soldiers were hiding in an area which they were scouting out. A young boy discovered them, and instead of capturing or killing him, they let him go, knowing that he would tell the villagers and that they would have to fight. So instead of waging war on those in the Medo-Persian Empire that were against them, they rejoiced and they threw a party. Those in the villages and towns who were with them turned to Judaism because of a great dread fell upon them. If the God of the Jews could turn the hearts of the king, he must be a powerful God and worthy to be worshipped. These actions did not mean that the Jews were powerless or unwilling to wage war when necessary, and we'll see some of that tomorrow. Now, an election will soon be upon us, and no matter who wins, we Christians should be praying for both the victors and the defeated. The only way hearts are changed, both ours and theirs, is through our relationship with Christ. Thank you for listening. We pray that today's devotion was meaningful to you. We would love to hear from you. If you listen to us on Facebook or YouTube, please like, subscribe, share, and tell others about us. You can always email us at phineasjacobus@runningtohim.net.